That was refreshing. This drink right here was refreshing. Unlike the show we got tonight. Matches were great. However, booking, not so much. We get a main event with the United States title on the line in a triple threat format, and that's where we're going to get started here at the beginning of the show. So Kevin Owens is in the ring, and he's reinstating his United States Open challenge. And it's going to begin next week. However, he said there's no way he's going to defend his title in front of a bunch of hicks from Virginia. And so then AJ Styles comes out and he's like, look, man, I want my rematch. And Owens is like, cut his stupid music. You better be out here to congratulate me and admit that I'm the bigger man. AJ says again, I want my rematch. And so then AJ's kind of going on, and Chris Jericho appears. We get Chris Jericho, and he is back. And the crowd's really into it. We're live in Richmond, Virginia tonight, and if I wasn't going away tomorrow, I probably would have been there. Would have been great to see all these matches live. Would have been great to watch these matches live in general. Because the matches themselves were not bad. The wrestling's always good. This is the wrestling show, and the wrestling's always good. It's the storyline, it's the telling of the stories and the booking that makes this garbage. And so Chris Jericho comes out, and he says it's the return of Jericho. Welcome back, man. That's his thing. Owens wants to know what he thinks he's doing here. The last time I saw you, you were being pushed out of the arena on a stretcher. And as Owens is trying to talk, Jericho continues to say, quiet, 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 quiet. And so this was a really entertaining segment. But Jericho goes on to say, this isn't Montreal anymore, Kevin. This is America, man. And he says he's back for his United States Championship rematch that he's still owed. AJ says, I know you've been away, but a lot of things have changed. And a lot of things have happened. And the next guy in line for a rematch is me. And Jericho goes on to say that, oh, you're trying to cut in line in front of me, trying to take my spot in the line. And he goes on and he tells this story, and he says, you want to know what happened to the guy in the grocery store that cut me in line? He cut me in line at the grocery store. You want to know what happened to him? And AJ said, you put him on the list? And Jericho says, no, I punch him in the face, put him in the walls of Jericho. But for you, AJ Styles, you just made the list. And so Jericho puts him on the list. And during all this, Kevin Owens tries to leave the ringside area, and he's walking up the ramp, and Shane McMahon comes out, and he's like, you might want to stick around because this concerns you and your United States Championship match. And he said both of these guys make valid points. They do have a right to a rematch for the United States Championship. And so he says, and they're both going to get it at the same time. He says not at WrestleMania because that's too far away. Not at SummerSlam because I don't remember why he said, but he said it's going to be live here in Richmond, Virginia. And so then that's what we have to start off the show is Shane McMahon scheduling the main event for tonight. Then we get a rematch of a battleground match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin. And the WWE did something right here. they've been using these side-by-side frames for commercial breaks, and they actually used it during a match that we cared about. It's remarkable. That's what these should be used for, so you're not missing the action between two great wrestlers that we actually care about rather than a jobber match that nobody gives two fucks about. So we get that, and so Nakamura wins by pinfall here after hitting the Kinshasa. And personally, I'm okay with it. This helps build Nakamura, which it should. But it doesn't hurt Baron because at this point in time, it doesn't matter to him. He's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he can do with it as he pleases. He's going to stick around and be in the world title picture and cash in when he feels like he wants to, when he gets the perfect opportune time. And so I'm okay with this. They can build Nakamura up even more. And like I said, they can keep Corbin around the WWE title scene and maybe try having him cash in on Jinder a couple times during TV tapings or whatever it is. But have him fail to cash in, but like because he got hit and the bell didn't ring, so he left the ringside area kind of thing. Not like he goes to cash in, the bell rings, and he gets pinned. And so it's okay. I'm okay with this because of what's going to happen, and I'll explain when we get to it. Next, we have Naomi being interviewed in the back. Natalya comes in, and she says that Naomi has disrespected the title and turned it into a kid's toy. And Natalya says that when she beats Naomi at SummerSlam, she's going to restore the title and bring it back to glory. The title's not even a year old, so I don't know what glory you're talking about. I assume she's speaking on the general tradition of a world championship. And she talks about the Heart Dungeon and her lineage. And Naomi says something along the lines of, you need to get with the times and stop living in the past with the dirty dungeon. And she says something like, you're going to be blinded by the glow or some bullshit like that. It was bad. And she says that the belt isn't disrespected. She just added a personal touch to it because it's the revolution and it's a new era. So then Carmelo comes in. She's kind of like holding her briefcase and kind of knocking on it like, hey, I'm here. Just kind of making sure that Naomi doesn't forget about her. So there's that. It's okay. Then we move on to a tag team match that I didn't care at all about. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch versus Lana and Tamina. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair win. Tamina freaks out on Lana after the match because she got pinned. Moving on. All right, so we have Jinder Mahal in the ring demanding a new opponent for SummerSlam. He wants to know who his opponent's going to be for SummerSlam. And he's really quiet. He didn't let the crowd quiet down, and he didn't talk very loud into the mic. He was very quiet. And so then he goes to speak in his native tongue, and out comes John Cena. And Jinder says to John, you didn't let me finish. I already know what you're going to say. You're going to say that I'm not worthy of representing 1.3 million people and representing India and being worthy of being the world heavyweight champion. And Cena's like, whoa, settle down, stop talking, like shut your mouth. You're a terrible mind reader. That wasn't what I was going to say at all. I was actually out here to congratulate you. I'm not happy about how you did it, but obviously you value the WWE Championship enough and are willing to do whatever it takes to hold on to it. So for that, I will respect you because I'm big on respect. Hustle, loyalty, respect, that whole spiel, shtick. Anyways, And so then John says, I don't care if you have a giant, the Singh brothers, the Singh sisters, the cast of Singh, a bunch of merry men, at SummerSlam, you're going to get Super Cena, and I'm going to become the 17-time WWE champion. And then he says, I don't know if you know me, but I'm John Cena. You can't see me. Hit the trumpets, and then he goes to leave the ring, and his music comes on, and he's walking up the ramp. Out comes Daniel Bryan. What Daniel Bryan does here is going to piss a lot of people off. Daniel Bryan says, look, John, I know who you are. I know what you've done, and you've worked for everything that you deserved. But just because you're John Cena doesn't mean that you get to walk out here and schedule matches. I schedule matches, and Shane schedules matches. And so what we're going to do is have a number one contenders match for the WWE Championship next week. And you are going to face Shinsuke Nakamura. People are going to be pissed. Very, very, very upset about this. I'm trying to be optimistic about it. This is obviously a main event worthy match at WrestleMania. And obviously a pay-per-view worthy match, not a SmackDown live match. However, I'm not going to try and nitpick because by the time I get back, everything's going to be different anyway. So I'm trying to think about this long term here on if this is what they're going to do, this is what I would do from a booking standpoint. In my opinion, this is what I feel like needs to happen. And if you like it, awesome. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. If you don't, that's cool too. Tell me in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking here. But this is what I think needs to happen. So, Nakamura cannot lose this match. They're trying to build him up, and I don't think that they can afford to have him lose here. That doesn't necessarily mean he needs to win, but he cannot take a pinfall here. Either Baron Corbin has to interfere in the matchup, or Shinsuke has to beat John. And the only reason I say this is because John Cena is a 16-time world champion. He can get number 17 at any time, and I'm sure they're going to save it for a big pay-per-view. Could be a SummerSlam, could be a WrestleMania, something along those lines. But it can wait. As of late, when John Cena's been around, he's been putting over the younger talent. He's been away doing films, and I think at this point in time, he needs to put over Nakamura because of what they need to build towards WrestleMania this year. And so what I suggest is Nakamura needs to win this match. John Cena, once again, will get his shot whenever he wants, and it'll probably be saved for a big-time pay-per-view. But he needs to take on Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam and win to become the new WWE champion. I got lost in my notes here. And then this is where it gets good. Because then you can have Baron Corbin try to cash in to get revenge on Nakamura for beating him tonight on SmackDown and for basically beating him at the pay-per-view. But as he's coming in, Nakamura can hit a Kinshasa and prevent him from cashing in. And so then we're going to get a constant buildup of Baron Corbin just coming to a boiling point to the fact that he can't stand that Shinsuke is the WWE champion. And so he's going to continue to try again to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And I think this is where it needs to lead to, is that at WrestleMania, when they get to Styles versus Nakamura for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, whoever wins that match, I think they should put over Nakamura in the match and then have Baron Corbin cash in. because that's going to be, it's very similar to the Seth Rollins situation that they did at WrestleMania 31, but I think it will work. And it'll get huge heat on Corbin, and I think it'll give him a big push to the top, obviously, because he'll win the title, and it'll allow him to not really have to work hard to get more heat. And being a heel, you want heat. You don't want to be, you get what I'm saying. So I think that's what needs to happen. To me, this makes sense. Nakamura wins against Cena next week. Goes on, beats Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. Goes on with the title, holds the title throughout all the way to WrestleMania, where he'll challenge AJ Styles, who wins the Royal Rumble. That's how we set up that matchup, and I think that's where it needs to go. All right, so now we move on here. Kevin Owens is backstage talking to Shane McMahon, and Owens says to Shane, he says, look, I know you don't like me, and I know that you scheduled the triple threat match because you don't like me. And Shane says, you're right, I don't like you if we're being straight with each other. But Jericho and Styles have the right to a rematch, and they're going to get it tonight. And he says, I don't care who the champ is at the end of the night, but I want the title defended on SmackDown, and I refuse to let it go over to Raw. Excuse me. So there's that. Now we go to the ring, and honestly, I didn't really pay attention to these next few segments here. Aiden English and Mike Kanellis versus Ty Dillinger and Sami Zayn, they just kind of put these two feuds together and mashed it up into a tag team match recap. I didn't care at all. I fast-forwarded through it. I'm sure the match was fine, but why am I watching it? What are they making? What am I supposed to care about here? We don't see the Fashion Police tonight. We don't see Breezango. So there was no Fashion X-Files tonight, which is kind of sad because that's one of the more enjoyable parts of SmackDown Live. So moving on now, we have the New Day, who are about to come out for their celebration after winning the SmackDown Tag Team titles this past Sunday at Battleground. They were attacked during their intro by the Usos. And so we're going to continue to build towards a rematch here at SummerSlam. Moving on, we have a backstage interview, and Shinsuke Nakamura is getting interviewed by Charlie or whoever the hell that broad's name was. They have so many damn interviewers. I don't even know who they are anymore. So they're like, do you have anything you want to say? What are you thinking about next week's matchup? And Nakamura, being from Japan, his English isn't great, but he's a lot better than some of the other talent that are foreign. And you understand what he's saying. And he said next week, he says, John Cena can't see me. And then he says, which means Jinder Mahal, I'll see you at SummerSlam. And this is where I started having the thought about maybe Corbin interferes in this match and causes him to lose. And we get Jinder Mahal and John Cena at SummerSlam. And that could play into the fact that Corbin's like, oh, you think you're past me? You think you're better than me? You're not. That kind of thing. So that was just another thought that I had. And now we're moving into the main event of the night. We have the triple threat match for the United States Championship. And this is what really upset me as far as the booking goes. The match was fantastic. There was a lot of great spots in it. I'll be honest, I paused it and I fast forwarded and I rewatched it again and I watched it again and again and again. I watched it a couple times, which is why I'm doing this so late. The match itself was great. But the booking for this just doesn't make sense to me. So 3 weeks ago, AJ Styles beats Kevin Owens to take the United States title from him at a house show at Madison Square Garden. And they did this so that people will buy tickets to see the house shows at Madison Square Garden because they haven't been selling out pay-per-views or haven't been selling out shows there. And so that's why they did that. And I guess they're doing a movie a film for AJ Styles, and this is what they wanted it to be a part of. But so he wins the title 3 weeks ago at a house show in Madison Square Garden. We move towards Battleground, and then we get to Battleground, and Owens beats Styles to take back his title. And so then we come to tonight, and the opening, the opening scene has the triple threat match set, and so now we're here, and so we have the triple threat match, and Owens wins again. They're playing hot potato with the title, and it really upsets me because it degrades the title. It takes away from the prestige of the title. I appreciate them having title matches on the show, but I don't think that they need to be bouncing it from one superstar to the other because it makes the title seem unimportant. Like, okay, you want it here, have it. You want it here, have it. It doesn't make sense to me. And so Owens is no longer the champ. It's Styles now. And Owens, after the match, is throwing a fit, saying it's not fair. I shouldn't have had to defend my title tonight. I shouldn't have had to defend my title in a triple threat match. And so next week he says, I want my rematch one-on-one with AJ Styles on Smackdown Live. And so next week we're going to actually get a lot of great matches. Unfortunately, I will not be here to watch them and review them. But that's what they're getting, and it looks like we'll get some further build on the different storylines. We'll see something from the tag team division. We'll see something involving the women. Hopefully, we'll see the Fashion Police because those guys are fucking talented. They're underutilized, but they're talented as hell. I'll get out. And so I'm looking forward to catching up on everything that's happened once I get back. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up the review. Like I said, I'm going away for about 35, 40 days. And so I will not be doing a review on NXT tomorrow. I will not be doing a previews, predictions, or review and results for SummerSlam until after I get back. And so I don't know. I might put out another video tonight. I got to do some packing and stuff still, but I might push out something tonight before I leave. So if you haven't checked out any of my other videos, please do so. I did an unboxing video earlier on today where I got this new t-shirt and a bunch of other good stuff from Wrestlecrate. Please go check them out. A lot of the stuff in my room is from there, and go check these guys out. It's a great subscription. It's worth the $30. The t-shirt alone is worth $20, and then you get Funko Pops and a whole bunch of other cool shit. I suggest you go and do that. Go out and check out my other videos. I have Call of Duty gameplay. I have WWE 2K17 My Career gameplay. I have dream matches on there. So go check that out and like those videos, subscribe to the channel, and I will be seeing you in a month's time. So until next time, YouTube, this is Zickety Z signing off. Y'all take care.